Today Headlines is brought to you by Auntie Mary's Baby Gripe Water.
Great to have you with us. Now, the death rates from road accidents in the Ashanti region has increased by 25% since the beginning of this year. 286 people died from January to September, up from 229 over the same period in 2017. That's according to data from the National Road Safety Commission. Now, Regional Manager Samuel Obing-Esiama says a multi-stakeholder approach is needed to address the situation because the numbers are alarming. Prince Apia has more in this report.
Records from the National Road Safety Commission reveals a total accident cases increased from 1,679 in 2017 to 1,924 this year. Out of this number, almost 15% were from motorcycles and tricycles, which authorities describe as worrying. Samuel Obing-Esiama is Ashanti Regional Manager of the National Road Safety Commission.
The alarming part is that most of these tricycle crashes are increasing. Initially, last year, we were recording about 9 to 11% motorcycle crashes. And now these motorcycle crashes are gradually increasing. We are not against people using motorcycles. It's the mode of operation of the motorcycle that we are against. Though. You find people sitting on the motorcycle with 2 or 3 people on the motorcycle. None of them have a helmet on. And it's about regulating the use of these motorcycles. We will be able to regulate how people use cars in this country. So it's about time.
Injured persons from road traffic accidents increased from 1,607 in 2017 to 2,098 in 2018. So what do these motorbike riders make of the increasing rate of accidents and casualties?
Whether car, motor, once you are on the road, there could be a possibility of an accident. You can be cautious going your way, and someone will come and hit you from the behind. Is it the Okada man who has caused it?
The data also shows that pedestrian knockdowns increased from 507 in 2017 to 580 in 2018.
A significant number of them are people below the ages of 18 years. These are probably school kids trying to get across to school. These are probably people who might not know how to use the roads very well, we presume are not well educated, I should say, on how to use the roads. Again, in all of these crashes, 286 people have died in Ashanti region. These are figures that are alarming.
So for close to 20 minutes, myself and these students had to stand here for a long time before we were able to cross the street. But mind you, this particular area had road markings. But the markings are gone, and this is the major challenge on most of the roads here in Kumasi.
We feel very scared, and sometimes we have to wait for a long time before we can cross. And there are some places like Ufurukum where the zebra crossing has been gone.
It will be something that probably we should all put our resources together and ensure that, one, we fix our roads, 2, we ensure drivers are well trained and well licensed on our roads. Our vehicles are also in proper shape. Normally, a few months to Christmas is where we have the highest record, we record the highest crashes. But now that we have 286 for the first 10 months of the year, we have to re-strategize with the police, with the DVLA, with the roads authority to ensure that at least for the next 2 or 3 months before we get to the end of the year, we don't add too much figures to these numbers.
In the face of such carnage on the roads, commercial drivers insist they are not to blame because the roads are bad. The cost of spare parts are expensive these days. We drivers, sometimes instead of buying new ones, we decide to manage with the old spare parts. Plus the terrible nature of our roads, these result in the accidents. Until authorities find lasting solutions to these challenges, accidents and casualty rates will continue to haunt the nation. Prince Apia reporting.
Now, the head of the UN office in West Africa and the Sahel, Dr. Mohamed Ibn Chamba, says political vigilantism is putting Ghana in a bad light. Speaking with Joy News on the sidelines of the West Africa Media Excellence Awards last Saturday, Dr. Chamba stated the NPP and the NDC carry the burden of stopping the menace. He has been admonishing the two leading political parties to put more trust in the state agencies and allow them to work.
There has to be political will on the part of the leadership of the political parties. And let's be frank, it's the two leading political parties, the NPP, ruling NPP, and opposition NDC. They carry a burden to nip this phenomenon in the bud. It has been festering now for a few years. There is time yet to control it before it becomes a real monster. It is giving our country a bad light. What is manifested is not what we are as Ghanaians. And time has come to really put an end to it. We've seen in the last few years this phenomenon both during the NDC time and now during the NPP, and some of the lawlessness that has been exhibited, including assaulting a minister of state. That, in my view, is the limit. And I think time has come to really rein in on the lawless gangs that are parading themselves in the name of political parties.
Do you think the political parties have lost confidence in the security system, or you just think that they're just raising these groups just to protect their own selfish interests?
Well, the thing is that particularly parties in opposition always raise this issue about the inadequacies of security agencies. I think they need to put more trust in the security agencies and allow the security agencies to do their work. The security agencies, on the other hand, need to exhibit professionalism and be bold and be impartial in the exercise of their work. It saddens me when I see what is going on in Ghana, because I know the quality of our security agencies. So they have the competence, they have the capacities, and they need to show more professionalism in protecting those in opposition. And then I think that will be a first step to ensure that this phenomena is brought to an end.
Now, the Supreme Court has ordered the receiver of defunct UT Bank, Eric Nananipa, to mount the witness box to be cross-examined by the Attorney General. This follows the receiver's claim of ownership of some properties belonging to businessman Alfred Woyome, which the state intends to sell to satisfy a 51.2 million cedi debt. The Attorney General, Gloria Ekufo, had earlier accused the receivers of defunct UT Bank, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and businessman Alfred Woyome of colluding to prevent the state from selling his properties to satisfy a 51.2 million cedi debt. The AG maintains the businessman used the said properties as collateral to secure a loan in excess of 9 million cedis from the bank, months after the bank claimed to have bought the properties. The three properties in dispute are residential facilities located at Shasako Valley Estates and Accra New Town. The receiver of UT Bank, Eric Nananipa, claims the bank acquired them on 5th April 2013 and 13th May 2014. The property at Newtown, the bank maintains, was used as collateral by Mr. Woyome to secure a loan in excess of 9 million cedis from them. Justice Benin, who is hearing the case, gave the order for the cross-examination after he was informed by lawyers for the receiver that Mr. Nipa was out of town and wasn't aware he was to testify on Monday. Justice Benin fixed the cross-examination for Monday, October 22. Meanwhile, Deputy Attorney General Godfred Yeboah Dame tells Joy News the state is making a headway in retrieving the money, since each of the properties the bank is laying claim to is worth about $1.5 million. He argues the state will show that it indeed belongs to the businessman by the end of the cross-examination. Now, Joy News' investigations have revealed the Ministry of Health under the Mahamas administration spent part of a government loan facility on research into the chances of the NDC. The research was conducted by UK-based SCL Social, the mother company of Cambridge Analytica. Our investigations uncovered how a part of a $175 million loan contracted to build 7 hospitals across the country was diverted into the research. Joy News' investigative journalist Kwete Nate has been looking into the files of Cambridge Analytica in the UK and now reports.
My fellow Ghanaians, my brothers and sisters, a while ago I phoned Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and offered him my congratulations for emerging the winner of the 2016 presidential election.
When former President Mahama lost the 2016 elections, some members of the NDC blamed him. One of them is Rojo Meto Nunu, who said Mr. Mahama dismissed crucial campaign intelligence provided to guide the election strategy of the party.
We did a lot in our own way. I have a group of people who are extremely committed, and we carried out research. We did a 32,000 household survey across all the 10 regions of this country, identifying attitudes, behaviors, perceptions, and desires of the people of Ghana. We put the report together, and either the report
didn't find its way to the presidency?
No, it did, but you know, sometimes people want to hear what they want to hear. Yeah, if you think you're winning and somebody comes and says, wait a minute, you're losing.
You actually sometimes perhaps become a target yourself.
Or if you want people who will sing his master's voice, you will not be heard. You know,
is that what happened in this case?
I believe strongly that our message, our research data was not accepted. It did not impact the strategy of the elections, and it was a disaster waiting to happen.
MP for Dodo Diodio and member of the Mahama campaign team, Neelante Vanderpoy, said the report was not made available to the party.
I'm not too sure about this research he's talking about, because as a member of parliament and with my position at that time in government, I should be privy if it existed and if it was really given out. That I should be privy.
So he lied
to the. No, I wouldn't say he lied, but I'm saying that I didn't have access to it. I didn't say it, and I don't know where it was sent, particularly because the party has a structure. Like the way we did our work, the Kwesi Committee, we handed it over to the party. Then the party will now sit down with the various stakeholders involved, and then let people know.
But then again, there were concerns that the party was detached from the government machinery.
So that's the more reason why, because it is not a person who becomes a president, it's the party that makes a president. So when you do a research about the government, about the chances of the party in an election, then the research outcomes must go to the party so that the party will take steps to make sure that...
But then the party was detached, we're told.
No, I'm saying that even makes it imperative upon that group of people who did the research to submit their findings to the party.
But our investigations show the research firm was tasked to assess the performance of the NDC as well as investigate the relationship between Ghanaians and the healthcare system. Here's the exact wording of the contract.
The work consists of 2 discrete political and public health elements. The political element is testing the attitudes and perceptions of a population towards contemporary issues faced in Ghana and public confidence in the capacity and competence of the current administration to implement appropriate timely solutions, as well as the current level of satisfaction regarding the performance of the NDC at district, regional and national level is also tested, and the research incorporates how this may translate into future electoral success.
The research was a subcontract under a $175 million project awarded to British infrastructure company NMX for the construction of 7 district hospitals and an integrated IT system. SCL Social was paid $6 million to undertake a nationwide survey to provide data for proper planning of the healthcare needs of Ghanaians. The leaked files referencing then Deputy Minister of Health, Rojo Meto Mateo Nunu, indicated the following, and I quote, "The SCL social team headed by Cyrus Baylis delivered a high-quality product that was adapted to the specific cultural context of Ghana."
Still watching Joy News today, I am Daniel Daze. Still up ahead in the bulletin, former President Jerry John Rawlings says, as far as the circumstances leading to the death of 3 High Court judges are concerned, he did nothing wrong, as he charges that certain individuals he says are bent on tarnishing his image. That and many more coming up after this. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Now, former President Jerry John Rawlings says he was never thirsty for blood of the 3 judges and a retired army officer who were killed 36 years ago. Reacting to questions raised in a recent Joy News documentary, Who Killed the Judges, at a forum in Kumasi, the former president said he did nothing wrong in circumstances leading to the deaths of the 3 judges and the retired army officer.
If I were bloodthirsty as these people are claiming, 15th May 79, I could have ignited the thing and left it. 79, when people were calling for blood, I could have just let go and let people do the killings. How do I come back in the 80s, when things have cooled down a little bit, to say I'm going to kill judges? Or you want to put that on us? It was a terrible mistake some of our comrades did. Why can't you even choose how to knock me down without going so low? In going that low, it's pretty much like what you call it, that thing, the weed that is going to destroy the children. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't make up stories. I have enough true stories about some of these characters.
Well, the former president believes what has happened indicates the extent to which people can go to destroy his image, causing the public not to fall for what he describes as sinister and propaganda motives. So he was cautioning the public in that.
Not too long ago, no, there's some lawyer who's brought on board somebody who features on TV, and they've gone on to, what do you call that one too? The YouTube. Talking about, you know, I've gathered how I buried people here and there at the airport, and near the airport, and all Mountain Forest and all kinds of places. Big mouth! How he was my bodyguard. No, that chap was not my bodyguard. He was the driver of one of the armored cars that we captured on 31st December. We won that battle that day. Both did a great job. But he got overexcited. And that afternoon, we're being attacked by this unit. This unit is coming to attack us. In one instance, as he entered one of the tanks, Major Kwashika there also jumped into the same tank. He had shot him by accident because he had become too excited. The next thing I knew, he had grabbed one of the police cars, a military vehicle, that another group had landed around Teshinumwa, and he was speeding in that direction.
Meanwhile, former executive director of the Media Foundation for West Africa, Professor Kwame Kakari, says the airing of Joy News' special assignment on crimes that shook the nation, episode 1, Who Killed the Judges, was an important learning experience for the country. The former University of Ghana communications lecturer says it is the responsibility of the media to keep telling such stories. He spoke to Joy News on the sidelines of the 2018 West Africa Media Excellence Awards last Saturday.
We must remind ourselves of history all the time, and that is one important responsibility of the media, to keep telling the stories that have happened, which have made this country laugh, smile, or weep. The media must tell every story, happy ones and sad ones. And the airing of such documentaries are important for all of us to learn from experiences that have not been good for this country, so that we learn from them and protect the freedoms that we have. As a Ghanaian, I think this also shows the work that some media houses are doing. For instance, multimedia company, the staff keep winning awards, and that's a very encouraging sign that professionalism is here in Ghana to stay, and it could only get much, much more better. Yeah.
Now, Joy News won big at the 2018 West Africa Media Excellence Awards last Saturday evening. Head of our investigative desk, Manasseh Azuri won the ultimate prize, West Africa Journalist of the Year. In his remarks after receiving the award, the 2011 Ghana Journalist of the Year called on President Akufo-Addo to do more in the fight against corruption. Maxwell Agbagba was at the Swiss Spirit Hotel where the events took place and now reports.
The Ghana musical and cultural troupe Woolomays set the tone for the event. Over 600 entries from 12 countries were received for this year's awards. The number was whittled down to 18 finalists, 5 of them from Joy News. Central Regional Correspondent Richard Kwejo Nyako won the Telecoms and ICT Award. Set Kwame Boateng's special assignment documentary Next to Die won the Health Reporting Award, with Manasseh Azuri Awuni's Robin Assemblies winning the Anti-Corruption Reporting Award.
Manasseh Azuri Awuni. The West Africa Journalist of the Year 2018 is Manasseh Azuri Awuni of Multimedia Group Limited.
That was not all for Manasseh, as he came back to pick the ultimate prize. He wants President Akufo-Addo to do more in the fight against corruption.
When you start journalism, winning awards is motivating enough, but what really gives you satisfaction is when you see that the ills you expose are dealt with. If there's any single president in the Fourth Republic whose election gave journalists in Ghana or anti-corruption campaigners in Ghana a lot of hope, that is the presidency of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And as I stand here for almost 2 years into his administration, if there is a single president in the Fourth Republic who has disappointed anti-corruption campaigners a lot, it is that same person. He has shown enough commitment to fighting corruption through his words. But there is a proverb that if a man cultivates his farm with words, he will harvest weeds.
Richard Kwejo Nyako has been speaking about the story that won him the recognition.
The story was about a school, a basic school at Asana Samankasi. Teachers there were teaching the children ICT lessons, and they were using stones. I mean, they were using materials that were within their catchment area because the students had not seen computers before, and so they decided to improvise.
Health Reporting finalist Justice Baidu has been sharing his excitement.
It's an award that motivates us a lot, and I'm really happy that if you look at the nominations, even in the overall, out of the 6 or 5, we had about 3 of them coming from the multimedia group. And so, like I said, we keep showing the way.
Daryl Kwao was the only Ghanaian business journalist who was a finalist at Wameka 2018.
Excited about that fact, and I'm also excited that, stories we have told over the years about young entrepreneurs is being recognized, and so for that, I say thank you.
It is a back-to-back win for the multimedia group and Joy News, as said Kwame Boateng won the ultimate prize in 2017, and now Manasseh Azuri Awene. Maxwell Agbagba, Joy News.
Congratulations to Manasseh and the rest of our colleagues for winning big on Saturday. In other news, the unexpected rainfall pattern this year has compelled the Ghana Water Company to increase the number of times it has to spill water from the Raja Dam. Joy News' Emmanuel Jivenu reports that a disaster is waiting to happen following the refusal of residents in communities including Tetegu on the waterway of the dam to relocate temporarily.
The Ghana Water Company Limited recently began spilling excess water from the Wager Dam. As has become an annual ritual, the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, issued alerts to communities within the catchment area of the dam to leave their homes to safer grounds. One of those is Tetegu, a community in the Gas South municipality of the Greater Accra region. Residents in this small but growing community are not new to the constant warnings from the Disaster Management Agency about an impending crisis should the waterways of the Wager Dam be opened. Ironically, they remain adamant. They have refused to vacate their homes, though they have been inundated with water from the dam spillage. Meet Edem, who is one of the many reluctant residents. She lives here with her husband and 7 children. Currently pregnant with her 8th child, Edem says she has nowhere to relocate to. She acknowledges the predicament they find themselves in is a looming disaster about to happen. Indeed, her only son, 4-year-old Godwin, nearly drowned last Monday when the dam was opened. In his infant mind, Godwin tries to recall what happened to him.
I'm going to sleep.
Going to sleep. And what happened?
Room.
So what happened?
And the water take me go away.
Go away. To where?
To the bush.
To the bush. So who came for you?
My mother.
Edem equally recounts how she battled for her own life in an attempt to rescue her son. But Tetegu is where she wants to live.
We don't have anywhere to relocate to. This is the only place we have. This flood was very intensive, but we survived. My 4-year-old son nearly drowned. I saw him struggling to get out of the water. I ran into the water to rescue him. It was by God's grace I was able to save him with my pregnancy. Nobody knows what would have happened if I had not seen him.
Away from the issues of survival, education for children is equally affected. Children here often absent themselves from school whenever the situation compounds. Despite these problems, developers look the least worried about the periodic flooding in the area. In fact, they have decided to raise their foundation a little bit higher to ward off the flood waters. Other residents also disagree with the relocation advice. They think a dredging exercise will solve the problem.
Living here is dangerous and our lives are at risk. These days, the situation has worsened. If you look over there, the water is destroying our land. We are appealing to government to come and direct the water canal for us. Once this is done, flooding in this area will reduce.
The Ghana Water Company Limited began spilling excess water last Monday, but there are fears more torrential rains in the eastern region would require authorities to spill more water. The question remains, what will happen to residents in the Wager Dam catchment area? Emmanuel Jiva News report for Joy News.
Now, finally, before business, 35% of food prepared mostly at eateries in Ghana are not eating. A research by non-profit organization Chefs for Change Ghana Foundation has revealed. Also, a recent report by the Food and Agriculture Organization FAO indicates that 1/3 of food produced for human consumption is wasted globally. This amounts to 1.2 billion metric tons of food wasted annually. This year's World Food Day is under the theme "A Zero Hunger World by 2030 is Possible." Emmanuel Jivenu has been engaging some restaurant operators and customers on how to reduce food wastages and how individuals can do to aid this agenda. This is his report, read to you.
According to the Ghana Agricultural Development and Value Chain Enhancement Project, an initiative of USAID, 50% of produce such as tomatoes, mangoes, pineapple and banana rot away after harvesting due to Ghana's inability to store and process them. A lot of food also goes uneaten at homes, restaurants and cafeterias. Joyce Biawa operates a local eatery at Kokomlemle, a business she inherited from her mother. She admits her customers waste food and this sometimes affects her profit.
Sometimes it does, but what can you do? Because it comes to a time in the dry season, pepper is very, very expensive. By the end of the day, if your customer demands more soup, by the example today, they come to buy the food. Maybe sometimes they want, it can happen that the customer is having a food at home, but without soup. He will intentionally come and buy a small amount of food, maybe a small amount of food, and buy more meat and they say, give me more soup. You have to give him because customer service. If you don't do, next time you will not come again. You may lose your customers. So that's what you do. You give them what they want.
But this patron disagrees. She believes restaurant operators are to blame for food wastage and not customers. She explains why.
The main problem is with the food vendors. Ghana has its own price list of food. Whenever you go to a restaurant or a choba or something, they have this, a plate is 5 cedis. Maybe I can eat 1 cedi. So I think that is the main causal agent of this food wastage. If they are able to structure the price in such a way that everybody will be able to afford, there will be no food wastage. So I think we have to look at that. It's a major problem. So that we stop this, a plate is 15 cedis, a plate is 20. It's so disturbing.
And eating foods from most homes end up in gutters or landfill sites. But do leftovers at Joyce Biawa's eatery suffer the same fate?
We have people also come here to buy the leftovers for their animals at home. Some also come to buy for their dogs, others for their pigs, etc., etc.
So how much is it if I want to buy leftovers for my animals? How much is it?
It ranges from 1 cedi to maybe 10 cedis. It depends on what you bring. Yes. A small paint, the paint rubber is 1 cedi. Because if we don't sell it, we don't use it for anything. So that's what we do.
According to the Royal Society, consumers in developed economies waste more food due to low cost, high standards for the appearance of food, and lack of understanding of the realities of food production. This lady from Germany believes cultural differences also play a role in how people treat food.
I leave it there. I leave it there, yes. Because why should I take it at home? But here is different. I love the food, you know, I love it. And I take it at home and then I eat it, yes.
So in Germany, you don't?
No, no. Because we don't do that. We don't do that. We don't take the food at home. Yeah, we don't do that. But here it's delicious, you know.
The Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, is advocating for reheating or rehashing leftovers to look attractive and edible. But some people we spoke to have different views on asking for leftovers to be packaged.
Well, I leave it because I don't see the essence. Like I said, I don't see carrying the food home. But as long as I'm here to eat, I'll take what I can eat. If I'm not able to eat the rest, I'll leave it.
If it is the type of food that I really like, I will let them box the remaining food and I'll take it home.
The kind of story that gets you hungry, I'll tell you. But it's now time for business with Odilia in Tiamwa. Stay with us.